Henry Ford Sr., the Ford automobile, okay? This is not a crackpot. Let's listen to what Henry Ford said. The people must be helped to think naturally about money. They must be told what it is and what makes it money and what are the possible tricks of the present system, which put nations and people under the control of the few. If the American people knew the corruption in our money system, there would be a revolution before morning. Exclamation point. Oh my goodness, I don't know. We got to get the word out. We got to get the word out. These people are controlling our money supply. They're going to rape and pillage everything that you and I have saved for. Saving isn't even encouraged in America anymore. They encourage you to be in debt. They encourage you to spend beyond your means. And most people are encouraged when you're actually depending on the government. They praise them for that's the way that you need to live the American dream. Okay? They praise them to be a servant and an indentured servant to the American government. That's not the America that I know. I'm going to continue to read. We got a lot of quotes here. Okay, here's a guy named Mayor Amshil Bar. All this is on my website, by the way. So if people who like videos, I'll just read it to you. If you'd like to read it yourself, go to my website. It's going to be on the YouTube button. Here's a guy named, I'm not even going to pronounce it right, Mayor Amshil Bar. He's the guy who founded the Rothschild family. Give me control of a nation's money and I care not who makes the laws. Okay? You got to understand, these are the people that have all the money they can possibly hope for. Even if they went out and bought every single thing they wanted, which they already have, they can't receive any more satisfaction from spending money. Me and you would have a hard time understanding that. Right? But they just want power. They want control. They want us to be subservients. Just nothing but hard-working subservience to feed their system. And you need to wake up, and we got to somehow start demanding that our politicians get some ethics. And when Obama can't find anybody to nominate that hasn't paid their taxes properly, that's just an example. I could go on to multiple examples. This Bernie Madoff guy, he stole $50 billion. If me and you were to steal a loaf of bread, try walking in a Kroger, try walking in a Tom Thumb, try walking in a Whole Foods, grabbing a loaf of bread and walking out the door without paying for it. They're going to have you in handcuffs, they're going to call the police, and you're going to be in jail that night. Me and you would be in jail tonight if we tried to steal a loaf of bread. Bernie Madoff steals $50 billion. They put an ankle bracelet and tell him go to the mansion that his $50 billion bought that he stole. I'm telling you, there is something wrong in our country, and if we don't wake up and act as men, right, we have to stand up and fight for our rights. They don't come to us free. We have to be outspoken about these issues. I don't know what you should do as far as your personal situation. I'm going to make these videos. I would hope that when these topics come up, you speak to your friends at the water cooler, wherever you may be. We got to get the word out. We cannot just be enjoying our lives, working for the system, loading up the family at night, going eating our pizza, watching the football games, and ignoring all the crap that's going on in our government. It's no longer a possibility that you and I can continue to do that. I would like to do that. I would love for everything to be okay. I got other things I could be doing besides making videos, right? But I feel like it's the point where if we don't stand up as men and we don't try to do something, they are going to have us bow down to their communist and socialist agenda, and we're going to lose our liberty. And that's a very, very serious thing to me. And it's got me off my butt. Okay, this is an excerpt from the Grace Commission report. It was submitted to Ronald Reagan on January the 15th, 1984. You need to hear this. 100% of what is collected, 100% of what is collected in tax revenue is absorbed solely by interest on the federal debt. All individual income tax revenues are gone before one nickel is spent on services taxpayers expect from the government. Did you hear that? That's from a Grace Commission report submitted to Ronald Reagan. Let me just read it again. I'm going to make a lot of videos. I don't know how long this is going to go. 100% of what is collected is absorbed solely by interest on the federal debt. All individual income tax revenues are gone before one nickel is spent on the services taxpayers expect from government. Your income tax doesn't get you anything. It's all spent on interest. They have turned all of us into indentured servants. We just work for the system. And they collect our money, and now they're going to start talking about confiscating our firearms. Now, you might be doing pretty good right now. You might even own your home. Most of us don't. But you might be saying, I'm doing okay. But I would offer to you that time is growing short. And I'm not saying that I'm Rambo or that I have some extraordinarily brave attribute. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to get up and be outspoken. We have to take a stand and to stop this corruption in our government. I'm going to make a third video.